Hey guys, welcome to the UX course. We completed first three chapters of UX design course, and we learned so far the difference between UI and UX, the importance of UX in product design, and lastly we learned design thinking, the important step of design thinking and why design thinking is so important and why to take all those initial steps. Design thinking has been one of the most critical process for any designer in the world, whether it is a graphic designer, whether it is uh, UX designer. Without the design thinking process, I don't think it is easier to get onto the laptop and start designing. Let's do a quick recap here, wherein I would highlight. So you have to empathize, you have to do a user research, and then you have to do studies. You have to get the pain points, you have to get the problem statement, and then you have to define, you have to write those problem statements, you have to create those solutions with ideation, and then you have to visualize that what exactly you are thinking of designing and what is going to be your design process. You have to also visualize the pages, the structure of everything, and you have to prototype basically. So prototyping, you can do it on paper. Prototype, I don't mean interaction or animation. By prototype wireframing, I mean sketching the initial ideas either on paper, uh, uh, either on any application you can use like FigJam, Miro board, or any whiteboarding application you can use. I love to do a sketch first because sketch really helps me organize all those ideas, all those thoughts together, and really get into a zone where uh, I can really decide and make a decision wherein, yes, this is what I want for this specific project, this specific product. And once I do that, it's very simpler for me to go ahead and start designing. Uh, Once you do the wireframing, you can take feedback from your team members, from your client, and as I highlighted before, why it is critical, because if you directly jump into design, it might take 2-3 days for you to come up with a design, and at the end you might realize that it got rejected. But if you do go with wireframe, it takes less time. It takes 1 hour to 3 hour to create beautiful wireframes, and it is just a sketch, so it doesn't involve a lot of complexity, but it can be done very quicker and very faster. And when you show those wireframes to client and your project manager, they really would appreciate your process, and it will help you land that project or land that job uh, perfectly. And once the wireframe is approved, there is very little chance of anything getting rejected. That is what I have seen so far. I create those wireframes. If they reject the wireframe, I can create another wireframe in next 20-30 minutes, or I can create the wireframe while the client is present there. If I'm meeting, like if it's a physical meeting, I can just create the wireframe and I can show it, and it can get approved right away. That has happened to me so many times that it is just amazing. This process is really good. You can take the feedback on the wireframe and then you can move on to your design process. Now let's go and deep dive into one case study I have created. Just give me a moment. Okay. So I have created a case study in redesign UX architecture for Yamaha application. For let's say for consumer, if you buy a motorbike of Yamaha, what happens is you get an application wherein you can see where your bike was parked and where your um, uh, bike was parked for last 24 hours, and where all you have parked your bike, and you can see how much fuel is there, and if your bike is connected, you can connect the bike with Bluetooth, and it can really give you the live detail of your bike. If you are far away from the bike, it can give you the live detail. It can give you the last location of your bike, which is good, which I don't mind. But the real user experience is kind of a problem, and I think there has to be more and more. This should be done more in terms of user user experience and product, so it can really add value for the customer. So this is what I have created as a problem statement, wherein you'd be able to see Yamaha is a motorbike manufacturing company. They have a lot of bikes from sports section, cruise, FG, and what this application should be doing is that it should be giving you the option for handling, fuel capacity, average, and braking if you're taking a lot of breaks. So what are the problem statement I found? uh, the data visualization standard was very low. The structure of data needs to be improved. Parking screen also needs to improve. I was not able to see if fuel was really going low. This is one of the critical feature I would like to say. If fuel is going low, and if you know the fuel is going low, you can go to the next fuel station and you can really fill it up. In the mobile application, it should give you the indicator. It gives the indicator also on the meter, but you cannot really know that, like if this goes completely down, how many more kilometers you can go. Sometimes you can still ride the bike, but what if it could give you the real data that okay, you can ride for next 1 kilometer or 20 or 20 meter or 200 meter. That could really help the user if they are on the low cost, and they want to save fuel, and it could really be amazing in terms of if fuel is getting low, customer should get notification about the fuel capacity in terms of danger zone, with color indication, and it should give you a mobile prompt. Connecting the bike to app, you really need to go to service center. This should be very user friendly. So this is what I saw, like to connect the bike to my app. I had to go to the service center. It was not that easy. So I think technology needs to improve here. So solution I have created here. We need to build an intuitive app which has language based on geolocation. Let's highlight the features. Either I put my Aadhaar number, phone number, or licensing license number. It should showcase the bikes or the asset registered with me. Okay. So if imagine I have two Yamaha bikes, so I should get all the bikes information there itself. It should attach to my Aadhaar card. It should get all the data from government portal itself, like my name, number, asset. Obviously, everything has to be allowed by the customer. Import all the bike related documents within the app itself. So this is one of the problem I have seen. Like why do you need four different applications for the same bike? One application from the government, one application from Yamaha, one application from somewhere else. What if this app itself could contain all the documents for you, and whenever you need to show that document, whenever you are you are required to show that document, this will make it so easier for the user to not to carry this not to get bothered about having too many applications. Okay, essential feature as a solution I would like to have: parking location, last park, for how long it was parked, fuel consumption data, indicator if fuel is getting low or if it is accurate label, diagnosis of the bike every month or weekly. This will help the user determine if the bike should go to service. I would also say, like if a bike has, I could set a limit that every 2000 kilometer give me a notification for sending the bike to the service center. So that could really be nice and helpful, I would say, because we need a real solution here, wherein I should not be, I should, everything should be automated for me, in terms, because I'm riding the bike, I have a lot of things on my mind. I should not be downloading too many applications for one single asset. So here my target audience is male between 18 to 45. So imagine if you have a Yamaha FG bike, it's a sports bike in a way. A 60-year-old would not be riding this bike, or maybe 17-year-old would not be riding this bike. Education, can be 10 plus. It really doesn't matter. Education doesn't matter. Industry, IT, sports, education, and I would say male. Why? Mostly because uh, sports bike, you would say, mostly male oriented uh, data is there. Female, I would say, let's say we can include 15 to 20%, but 90% of the time we would say uh, this is male oriented, motorbike. So users are basically male. Okay, so let's do a competitive analysis. I have already done. Here you can see so this is an actual Yamaha application. If you can see, um, UI looks very old. UX identification is missing. Also, not sure if this is the right decision or data visualization for the home page. So it is not. It is very classic, and it is not showing me all the correct information or data visualization I need for this application or this bike. Second, if I go, this could be nice if we're building a community within the app to connect with other owners. So what if, within the mobile application there could be an option to connect to all other owners of the same type of bike, and then it could be a community group. It could also help advertise the brand itself. The feature is already there in Google. Why would I need extra app for this unless community? Okay, this photography is feature is already there in Google. Like, I can make a trip, I can create a photograph. But if there is a community, it could really help me, have this feature. UI is okay, still old. Okay, UI is very old for this. This screen text is not readable. More visualization can be added. Nearest fuel station can be added. So this is one of the feature I like in this app. In the map, I could see, in the map we can have a map view and a list view, wherein I should be able to see the nearest fuel station, and data visualization in terms of average of the bike if average is going low. Okay, so if average is going low, that means bike needs service, or if bike is not running in the right condition. That could really help me identify if it needs to go to service, and if it could give me the right average information. As mentioned in our wireframe, other parking places are missing. So if you see here in this Royal Enfield application, it gives you the parking locations of all other places I have at park. But here you would not be able to see that. It's just a single complex map. So in other way, let's do a competitive analysis for Royal Enfield. The UI is very modern, showcasing the bike. 3D mode does not help the user. Good and bad both. We could have more data visualization here, like fuels, used kilometer, and ran, and health. On onboarding looks nice. It could have less detail. UI is decent. Once you press on connect, it should give you an alert. The bike has been transferred on your name. Okay, I really like the 3D map, but I'm not sure it can be used for parking. 3D map, okay. So parking, I don't know, like if you can use 3D map for parking, because it is just information for me. A useful information for me. If you can really do a lot with your mobile app, we could have options like turning of the light, and it could also show that my light is on, I should turn it off. Show alert on my bike meter, show call, get mobile notification. I really like the list view of parking spaces. I think if you click the map, you can see where you have parked. History should be managed directly in the map. I can take inspiration from alert. It looks good. We can design something like this. So overall, I would see Royal Enfield mobile application for the bike is really good and better than what Yamaha has done. So I would give you like I would give it like 8 out of 10. Okay, let's go next. Wireframe. So after you have done the competitive analysis and you have done your solution, you can come up with. So this wireframe I have done it on Figma. I could do it. I did it on paper. I have not showed it here, but I did it on FigJam, and I think this could help me. So dashboard visualization, wherein I'm able to see. Uh, uh, if the health is going good, there could be health data and uh, battery. So this is a basic layout, I would say. Have done. Create account, put either of three, start creating an account. You can also create other with Aadhaar number, phone number, and license. And if you create an Aadhaar, if you put in an Aadhaar, and if you do an Aadhaar number verification, you can get all the data from it. And either you can log in with mobile, email, or phone. Map, map view and list view. So that's what I have thought. I can change both of them, and wherever I tap on the map, it should show the address and duration for how long it was fogged. Fuel monitor, in terms of map, it should show what are all the places where the fuel is, and also the current capacity it should show. So first you have to do the basic what you call wireframe to be able to understand what you're going to design, and this can really help you design better. And this would take you, let's say, like 1 hour or 2 hour, creating those wireframes with FigJam. But if you try to um, create exact design, this would take you longer time, 2 3 hours. So I could just create this wireframe and show it to client, and I could ask their feedback, and I could also show it to my team members and ask their feedback that how is this going, and if there are any changes I require. Obviously, there are always changes when you get into the real application, but less and less changes. This is the user flow. I think user flow is also very important aspect of the whole journey of creating a mobile application or web application. Basically, you need to know and you need to know all the pages which is going to be there. You need to know all the features which are going to be there, and you will understand where will the user log in, how will he start, if he is a new user, if he is an old user. If he's a new user, he can create an account. If he's an old user, he can directly sign in, and he can create an account with mobile, Aadhaar, bike registration, and license. New account homepage and dashboard. He can create his profile. He can connect his bike by QR, connect by bike number, connect with Bluetooth. If he is an old user, he can sign in. He can do a mobile OTP. He can go to home page and then body, wherein he can see fuel consumption, bike rides, distance covered, health data, and he can really. So this is the base user flow you need to create whenever you are actually working on the real application, and this could help you. And this goes parallel when you are working on a project. You create the base user flow, and then you keep working on it, and you keep creating on it when the feature increases. So the user story I have created. So for every page, you need a user story, because this will help you understand what all features and content which are going to be there on that specific page. So for an example, let's say registration and authentication page. As a user, I want to register using my Aadhaar phone number or license number so that I can access my bike details quickly. As a user, I want my bike details to be fetched automatically from the government record so that I don't have to enter them manually. Dashboard. As a user, I want to see an overview of my bike's health, fuel status, and park location at a glance. As a user, I want a clean and intuitive interface to access different features quickly. I think that is important. Parking management page. As a user, I want to see my last park location so that I can find my bike easily. Okay, so this is important because sometimes it has happened with me. I parked the bike and I don't know where I parked. I can forget. That can happen to anyone. But if you have this feature wherein it can show you the location and it can take you to that specific location where you have parked the bike, this could really be helpful. As a user, I want to know how long my bike has been parked in that one place. That can help you protect from theft. You can report it to police station if your bike was stolen. You can show them the last park location and you can show them all the other details as well. Fuel monitoring nearest fuel station. I want to see nearest fuel station because if I'm low on fuel, I should be able to know without like going through n number of things. I should be able to see the nearest fuel station. As a user, I want to get notified when my fuel is running low so that I can refuel it on time. It can happen that you are on the last bit, but the bike can go a little bit more further. But if it can show that this can go for, let's say, uh, 1 more kilometer or 2 more kilometers, so I can reach that destination of putting in more fuel on right time, so I don't have to be worried about it. Bike diagnostic page. As a user, I want to receive regular diagnosis report so that I can keep my bike in optimal condition. So knowing the condition of your bike is very important, so you cannot put yourself in danger or your bike in bad health if you regularly get that report. As a user, I want to real time bike health tracking. So you can see if your bike is going in the danger zone, or you can see if your bike is already on good health. As a user, I want alert if issue is detected that might lead to an accident. This is one of the important feature, I would say. Let's say if your accelerator is not working or your brake is not working, if it can give you that alert, it can save your life, it can save someone else's life. Service and maintenance phase. As a user, I want to schedule service appointment through the app so that I don't have to visit the service center physically for booking. See, this is one of the thing happens with every bike owner, that every time they have to book a service, they have to go to a service station, or they don't know where the service station is. So what if there is an option wherein you have that option to book your service? Either you go by yourself to that place and give your bike for service, and you can get all the details like bills and invoices, or you can book a service and someone from the service center comes in and take your bike and deliver your bike back. As a user, I want to receive reminder for my next bike service so that I don't miss essential maintenance. That's important. I get notification on WhatsApp, but that really does not matter. I should be able to see real time notification. As a user, I want to see my service history so that I can track past maintenance record. This is also, I would say, I would highlight as an important factor for every bike owner. So if you see the user story really helps you detail down all the important pages or content, or let's say functionalities which is going to be there on the application, and it can help you design better and take better decision in terms of creating the whole project, because the customer and the client and the developers would depend on you as a UX designer to do a better job in terms of strategy, in terms of UX, in terms of functionalities and architecture of the application. Now, in next module, we'll be moving to UX research and planning. We'll be creating user persona and task analysis for a real application, and we will understand the user deeply. We'll also create user flow, journey mapping. We will create flow chart, and we'll map all the user, and we'll also create a functionality document like what I showed you in terms of problem statement and solution statement for an application, which will help you uh, work on your next application when you are building something which can really help the customer and build loyal customer base. It is not just like you can just jump onto the computer and you can start designing. The research and UX architecture is the most important aspect of the whole design process. Thank you for watching this course, and see you soon.